You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, new video on the suspected murder of a Washington Post columnist. We'll tell you why Turkish officials now say a body double may have been involved. Plus, a shooting at a TV station in the nation's capital. We'll tell you why police think a man tried to force his way into the station's lobby. And we'll tell you about a new film warning kids about the dangers of excessive cell phone use. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jess Dowdrick. Ray Collins is off today. It is Tuesday, October 23rd, 6 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. Let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who has some good news for you when it comes to weather. You'll notice it when you walk out the door.
Absolutely. Low relative humidity again today, and those cooler temperatures compared to where we were just a week ago. A little extra cloud cover, however, as we head through the afternoon. I think we'll probably end up with mostly cloudy skies. We have a lot going on back to the west. We're going to be discussing in detail an area of low pressure developing, tapping into moisture from Hurricane Wilma, about to make landfall into Mexico. All of that could bring us some more rainfall and possibly stronger storms as we head into Friday. Details on that in a moment.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. No major issues to report in Manatee County. A little bit of a slowdown on State Road 70 near the US 41 intersection. Also up on State Road 64, just westbound of I-75. Some minor delays that you'll experience this morning if you're heading out the door. In Sarasota County, there's nothing major to report. Some slight slowdowns on University Parkway, getting on and off I-75, but other than that, things are looking clear. And as we head south into southern Sarasota County, nothing major to report at 6:01 on your Tuesday morning. There's some breaking news this morning. Police in Salt Lake City are looking for a suspect in a deadly shooting at the University of Utah. Police say a female student was found dead in a vehicle after some kind of dispute with a man. Police have now lifted a campus lockdown since they believe the suspect is no longer on campus. We'll keep you updated on this story throughout the day as it develops right here on ABC 7 and, of course, online at our website, mysuncoast.com. New surveillance footage shows what appears to have been an attempted cover-up in the suspected murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi with help of a body double. CNN's Clarissa Ward has the latest developments from Istanbul.
At first glance, this man could almost pass for Jamal Khashoggi, and that's the idea. These are the last known images of Khashoggi alive, moments before he entered the Saudi consulate. Take a look. Same clothes, same glasses and beard, similar age and physique, everything except the shoes. But a senior Turkish official tells CNN that the man on the left is a body double, one of 15 Saudi operatives sent to kill Khashoggi and then cover it up. His name is Mustafa al-Madani. Surveillance cameras capture him arriving at the consulate in a plaid shirt and jeans at 11:03 with an accomplice. 2 hours later, Khashoggi arrives. He was killed inside shortly afterwards.
While Khashoggi's fiancée waited in front of the consulate, we're told al-Madani came out through this back exit. Disturbingly, he appears to have been wearing the actual clothing of the murdered journalist. The intent, Turkish investigators say, was to perpetuate the lie that Jamal Khashoggi left the consulate unharmed.
The apparent double and his companion take a taxi to Sultanahmet Mosque. It's one of Istanbul's main tourist attractions and an easy place to get lost in a crowd. The men head to the bathroom. The accomplice carries a plastic bag. When they emerge, al-Madani is wearing his own clothes again.
And just like that, Jamal Khashoggi has disappeared forever, or so the Saudis would have had the world believe. Little did they know Turkish authorities would quickly uncover the cover-up.
From their next stop at a nearby restaurant, where al-Madani appears to have ditched his fake beard, to a dumpster, where the men finally dump the plastic bag. The senior official says investigators believe it likely contained Khashoggi's clothes. As they head back to their hotel, the pair appear visibly relaxed. Their mission is complete. Clarissa Ward, CNN, Istanbul.
And CIA Director Gina Haspel is heading to Turkey to look into Khashoggi's death. Saudi Arabia now says that he died in an altercation with officials inside a consulate in Turkey, but Turkish investigators say Khashoggi's killing was a, quote, violently planned murder. Director Haspel's trip comes after President Trump expressed doubts about Saudi Arabia's newest explanation for Khashoggi's death. For the latest on this story, plus of course breaking news and your up-to-the-minute First Alert forecast, head over to our app. You can find it in the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast. New at 6, D.C. police are trying to figure out what left a man smashing his way through the glass doors of a TV station before a security guard opened fire. Police are looking at video from the Fox-owned station showing the suspect kick in not just one, but 2 doors. Once he got through the second door, the security guard shot the man. Police later discovered he didn't have a weapon, leaving even more of a question mark about his motive.
What kind of conversation did you get into?
Well, it's still an active investigation, and we're not going to divulge any of that information at this time.
No one else in the lobby at the time of the shooting was injured. Police say the man has a history of mental illness, and they are now investigating why the guard drew their weapon. Happening across Florida, a Lakeland City commissioner is resigning after being charged with murder. Michael Dunn fatally shot a suspected shoplifter after he tried to steal a hatchet from the commissioner's military surplus store. Police say Dunn shot the man twice after a confrontation and that the suspect didn't appear to have made any threatening movements toward Dunn in the surveillance video. He later died at the scene. Dunn is expected to make his next court appearance later this week. A Utah man is behind bars in Orlando after fighting with an airline employee and a police officer. Police say 45-year-old Brandon Strong was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and several other counts. A JetBlue employee told Strong he was too drunk to get on a flight after seeing him stumble near the gate and was allegedly harassing a woman waiting to board. Police arrived to keep the peace, but Strong confronted the officer, who pepper sprayed him. There's no word if Strong has hired an attorney. If you have a teenager, then you know most of them can be found glued to their cell phones a lot of the time. It's an issue tackled last night at Northport High School with a special screening of a documentary called Screenagers, hosted by the Education Foundation of Sarasota County. It's a movie that highlights the excessive use of phones and computers and how it's impacting families. Solutions to the problem were addressed. One example is creating a contract that would limit the use of devices to certain times of day.
We hail cars, we order online, we make appointments, and we certainly Google for information. So that's not going to go away. What we hope, though, is that children will have a better understanding of how to navigate that world and to make good decisions.
I'm hoping that it gives parents some tools to work with their students on social media, how to balance the use of technology, and how to use it as an educational tool as well.
There was a Q&A after the screening with a panel of experts so parents could ask their questions. It featured a high school principal, law enforcement, psychologist, and a counselor. Looking ahead to tomorrow, a town hall will be held to discuss the renaming of a new high school in Manatee County. The school district of Manatee County is holding a meeting so people can submit name nominations for the new school. The school is currently being built on Fort Hamer Road, and the town hall will be held in the cafeteria at Buffalo Creek Middle School, which is on 69th Street East. That meeting will be held tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also looking ahead, more than 200 teachers in Manatee County will get grants this week to fund projects for their students. This Thursday, the Manatee Education Foundation will host its annual Impact Awards and give out more than $100,000 to almost 50 schools in the district. Teachers from all grade levels applied in September for the grants, and those who won will be awarded on Thursday. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you why former Price is Right host Bob Barker is in the hospital this morning. And coming up at 6:30 with the holiday season coming up, we'll tell you what the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is doing to crack down on local shoplifters. First, we're taking a live look outside at the city of Sarasota. You may not be able to see it now, but a full moon is shining down over the city this morning. Let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi with a look at your beach forecast.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us today, actually. If you're heading to the beach, there will be a little extra cloud cover around. Watch for that. But it'll be dry despite the cloud cover. We'll have no rain in the forecast for you today. 85 our daytime high with a UV index of about 8. At the beaches, most beaches reporting absolutely no irritants in the air. Only one beach, Coquina, is showing a little bit of slight amounts of irritants. But even there, I think that will probably shift and change as we head into the 10 o'clock hour and new reports come in. We'll have that for you at noon. Your complete forecast in a second.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Christmas Tradition by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. And right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So on the boards this morning, temperatures, dew points, wind direction, speed, all kind of similar to what we had yesterday. We're coming in at 66 as the air temperature, and that's representative of what we're finding in many places with our weather watchers across the region. Cooper in central Sarasota has 67 degrees. Jeff in Laurel Park comes in with 67. Got some 64s on the boards too, though. Pinecrest, Scott has 64, and Richard in Northport also has 64. The coolest spot, Becky in Old-Mayaca, always the coolest spot, coming in at 58 degrees there at her location, but it's historically a cooler spot. We're watching temperatures continue to climb up to about 85 for a daytime high. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover around today perhaps than yesterday, although times yesterday we had some cloud banks roll in. But I think in general for the persistent part of the afternoon we'll have at least partly cloudy, if not mostly cloudy skies. High thin clouds for the most part, not rain producers. The rain stay out in Gulf waters and back to the west. Near Texas, an area of low pressure continues to develop, spreading its rain showers across the northern Gulf Coast. That area of low pressure will probably tack tap into a stream of moisture around Willa. Willa's a hurricane category, just barely a Category 4 storm, in the process of weakening as it gets closer to the Mexico coastline. It will make landfall later today or early tomorrow and then gradually drift inland, where it will be torn apart by the mountains of central Mexico. But its moisture will continue to plume northward into parts of Texas. And eventually, part of it gets sucked into an area of low pressure that moves across the northern Gulf Coast, increasing the rainfall potential for heavy rainfall anywhere from Pensacola back toward New Orleans. They could see up to 5-inch rainfalls there, possibly, with Pensacola and areas that were intensely damaged by Michael, perhaps getting as much as 3 inches of rainfall. For us, rainfall will not, I think, be the big issue. What will be more interesting for us is a frontal boundary, which will eventually develop along this low-pressure area and produce some fairly heavy rainfall, as well as the potential for some severe weather. It's too early to tell where that severe weather, if any, will exist in the state of Florida, but it's something we have to watch very carefully around here. Nice weather conditions continue today. We'll have the humidity rising tomorrow, and then rain on Friday. But it moves out of here by Saturday for the most part and clears us out and cools us off and makes for a fairly nice weekend with only slightest little rain chances. That low will also create some breezy conditions for the weekends too, so boaters need to watch for that. East wind comes in at about 10 today. Light chop, 2-foot seas. Much better day for boating today than yesterday. 85 the high today. Tomorrow about 86. Again, both days featuring partly to mostly cloudy skies, high thin clouds for the most part. Rain chance starts to work its way in on Thursday, but spikes on Friday as our winds turn south and become rather breezy. We'll put it at a 70% chance of storms, but bear in mind that some of those storms could be strong, and we'll be developing that forecast through time to let you know whether they'll be severe or not. Breezy winds on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, lower temperatures, low relative humidity both for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at First Alert traffic now. There's no major issues to report in Manatee County where we begin. Some minor slowdowns as you are heading northbound across the bridges. But again, nothing major to report as we head south into Sarasota County. One issue on Fruitville Road as you're heading westbound just off of I-75. But other than that, it's looking clear. And in southern Sarasota County, there is nothing to report at 6:17 on your Tuesday morning. In entertainment news, actor Will Ferrell channels his inner cheerleader, and a big announcement comes from actress Amy Schumer. ABC's Maggie Rulli has today's Showbiz Wrap.
It's official. Amy Schumer's making one pregnant political statement. In a somewhat mysterious post on Instagram, the comedian plastered her and her husband's faces right over the royal couple, Harry and Meghan, who also recently announced their first pregnancy. She then directed her 7 million plus followers over to friend Jessica Yellen's page, the founder of News Not Noise, where posted were Schumer's endorsements for Congress and governor seats across the country, and then this little bit of news. I'm pregnant, Amy Schumer. Congrats. Turns out the stars of the new biopic Bohemian Rhapsody don't have the same musical chops as their film's very famous counterparts.
The only instrument I played before this film was the clarinet.
I'm not that musical.
I'd never touched a piano before in my life.
The film tells the story of the iconic rock group Queen and their frontman Freddie Mercury in the years leading up to the band's memorable performance at the Live Aid charity concert in 1985. And Will Ferrell's channeling his inner Spartan cheerleader, brushing off some of those SNL cheer skills for his home team, the Los Angeles Football Club. Leading die-hard fans in an epic chant that turned Bank of California Stadium into a zoo during the first half of the team's match against Vancouver. Ferrell's a part owner of the team, but unfortunately, his enthusiasm wasn't quite enough. Sunday's game finished in a 2-2 draw. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Maggie Rulli, ABC News.
The former Price is Right host Bob Barker was admitted to the hospital on Monday. Reports say emergency medical personnel were called to the 94-year-old's Hollywood home around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. TMZ posted photos of Barker being loaded into an ambulance. His manager later told the site that Barker woke up with back pains but could not be reached for further comment. And Angelina Jolie is in Peru, not to promote a movie, but to learn about the situation of Venezuelan refugees and migrants who are in the country. Jolie's visit is a follow-up to the recent visit of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees of the region. Right now, she is carrying out a 3-day mission to assess the humanitarian needs of Venezuelan refugees and challenges that Peru faces as a host country. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, new developments in the bachelor party rafting trip in Costa Rica that left 4 Americans dead, why new video is raising questions about whether they should have been rafting at all. And coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you about the shocking new numbers from Florida officials on Hurricane Michael's death toll. But first, we're taking a look at the city of Atlanta today. This is a lottery booth. Today is your last day to buy Mega Million tickets. The drawing will be later tonight. Of course, that jackpot now at $1.6 billion.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
I'm a Florida voter. I want to make sure my voice is heard.
Here in Florida,
we have 3 ways to vote.
Vote by mail.
Early voting.
And voting at the polls on Election Day.
Make sure your voice is heard.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
Welcome back. We're learning more about the bachelor party rafting trip in Costa Rica that left 4 Americans dead. New video is raising questions about whether they should have been rafting at all. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, this new video was taken just before the trip of a lifetime took a tragic turn. 14 American tourists celebrating a bachelor party, all geared up for a whitewater rafting adventure down Costa Rica's popular Naranjo River. Moments later, the group from Miami boarded 3 rafts, and within minutes, all of them capsized. One survivor telling ABC News, "All of us struggled to stay above water, swallowing lots of it on the way down as our bodies ricocheted against the rocks in the water while struggling to survive." 4 of the American tourists and 1 Costa Rican guide were swept away. Beltran's fiance posting this photo on Instagram, the caption saying, "What was supposed to be a celebration for the best day of our life turned into a nightmare. My heart aches for the 4 beautiful souls that were taken from us." And we'll have that coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Miami.
There are ordinary eggs and the best. We like cage-free. And which ones are more flavorful? Only Eggland's Best. We prefer organic, and which have more vitamins and less saturated fat?
Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Well, Jimmy's proud to have helped put a roof over the heads of hundreds of families. He's most proud of the one who's kept over his own.
Get paid twice as fast with QuickBooks Smart Invoicing. QuickBooks, backing you.
VisionWorks can do more than just make you see great. The right pair of glasses can make you look amazing, too. Get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for $49, or 2 progressives for $89. Choose from over 500 pairs. VisionWorks, we're here to help you.
Before Nexium 24 Hour, Mark could only imagine a peaceful night's sleep without frequent heartburn waking him up. Now, that dream is a reality. Nexium 24 Hours stops acid before it starts for all day, all night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. 100% of all Hurricane Michael donations are applied to the local relief efforts in the Northwest Florida area. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle Strong. Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Coming up, we'll tell you about a scary scene in Manatee County where deputies say a man stabbed his girlfriend's father to death in his sleep, all while on LSD. Plus, we'll tell you about the shocking new numbers from Florida officials on Hurricane Michael's death toll. And with the holiday season coming up, we'll tell you what the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is doing to crack down on local shoplifters. Those stories plus your first alert forecast coming up this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Jess Dowdrick. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's head right over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi, who has some good news for you, like I've been saying this morning, about your forecast.
I think you're liking this weather, Jess. That's my guess.
I do.
Yeah. So who doesn't really? I mean, lower relative humidity again today. We'll have a lot of mild temperature in the afternoon, 85 the daytime high. But we will see a little bit more cloud cover around the cloud cover building in the Gulf, moving in this direction, riding on a general zonal flow from west to east. You can see an area of low pressure kind of developing back to the west, producing some fairly heavy cloud cover and rainfall across the northern Gulf Coast. It'll tap into the moisture supply from Willow over time and eventually increase the rain shower chances for the state of Florida, including us as we head into Friday particularly. But for today, we're dry with a daytime high of about 85. Complete forecast in a minute.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Taking a look at First Alert traffic now. We begin in Manatee County, where we're seeing some slight delays at the intersection of US 41 and State Road 70. Also another delay on northbound US 301. Other than that, things are looking good in Sarasota County. Some delays on Clark Road as you approach I-75 heading eastbound in both directions. Also on Fruitville Road, just east of I-75. If we head south into southern Sarasota County, things are looking clear at 6:31 on your Tuesday morning. Florida emergency management officials say the state's death toll from Hurricane Michael is now up to at least 29 people. That brings the total up to 39 total killed across the southeast. The latest update in Florida adds 4 deaths from the hardest hit coastal Bay County, bringing the total there to 19. Nearly 2 weeks ago, Michael slammed into the Panhandle with 155-mile-an-hour winds before impacting Georgia, the Carolinas, and then Virginia. Don't forget to download our free weather app for the latest alerts. You can also check out the Weather and Hurricane Center tab on our website, mysuncoast.com. There's a link there to our 1-hour hurricane special and our printable hurricane guide. It was a scary scene in Manatee County where deputies say a man stabbed his girlfriend's father to death, all in his sleep while on LSD. It happened overnight on Monday at a home on 49th Avenue West in Bradenton in the Holiday Heights subdivision. Deputies say 3 people were using LSD when they believe 22-year-old Joseph Mueller had a bad reaction to the drug and started hallucinating. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen and stabbed Arthur Sadler, according to law enforcement. They say Sadler later died in surgery at Blake Medical Center. Deputies say Sadler's daughter was also in the home using LSD at the time.
When people are doing very serious drugs that alters their thinking and their actions and can create violence, I think it's a pretty good lesson here is don't do these kinds of drugs.
Mueller was eventually caught in a yard nearby the home and is now facing second-degree murder charges. Happening now, we're in the middle of a National Teen Driver Safety Week. The Florida Department of Highway Safety is launching its annual Arrive Alive campaign, reminding teens and those around them why buckling up is so important. Last year, teen crashes made up almost 12% of all car accidents. So the Florida Highway Patrol is encouraging parents to speak to their kids about texting and driving and wearing their seatbelts. Happening today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is working to cut down on shoplifting ahead of the upcoming holiday season, looking to cuff perpetrators and take them off in what they call a free sleigh ride down to the county jail. Our Marla Spence has the details. She joins us live from University Parkway this morning. Marla.
Hey, Jess, yeah, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is calling that initiative Operation Sleigh Ride. A spokesperson with the Sheriff's Office tells us that the department is not taking shoplifting lightly this holiday season. In fact, the department and sheriff deputies plan to be out in uniform and also undercover, monitoring shopping centers all across Manatee County. Now, the department put out traffic signs near shopping centers, including one on University Parkway. Now, it's warning everyone of the operation ahead of the holiday shopping season. Posters also going up in many retail stores warning shoplifters of the harsh consequences they'll face if caught during this season. Now, Randy Warren, one of the spokespersons with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, tells us that this year the Sheriff's Office has made close to 350 arrests for shoplifting. And as we all know, theft tends to increase during the holidays, and that's something that the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is hoping to avoid.
We're putting a concerted effort into getting the message out that we're not going to tolerate it. The numbers hopefully won't be that high. Hopefully people listen and think it's not worth getting arrested. It could be up to a year in jail if it's a misdemeanor shoplifting, retail theft charge. You could get up to 5 years in prison for felony theft.
Now, this is not the first year that the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is doing something like this. Last year, they had an initiative called Elf on the Shelf, but this year, Operation Sleigh Ride is all to stress the fact that shoplifters, if they're caught, they will be taken down to the Manatee County Sheriff's Jail in a sleigh ride in a patrol car. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Haven't even thought about holiday shopping yet, but that's now on my list. New this morning, the Sarasota Police Department is warning people to be on the lookout for a sweepstakes scam. A concerned citizen contacted SPD yesterday and told officials that his mother had been notified that she won $8,000 in a sweepstakes endorsed by the police department. The scam artist told the victim that Chief DePino would even be following up with a phone call to congratulate her. Later, a woman called the victim and identified herself as the chief. SPD is now asking anyone who is a victim of the scam to give them a call. In consumer news, some big changes are on the way for MasterCard users. The credit card company says pretty soon signatures will be made optional. That's not just on the card either, but for the receipts too, which should make the checkout process even faster. MasterCard will start distributing the new signature panel-less cards in April. Happening today, people are snatching up tickets ahead of the record-breaking Mega Millions lottery drawing at $1.6 billion. A single winner could get a lump sum of around $900 million before taxes. The Powerball jackpot has also climbed to an estimated $620 million for Wednesday's drawing, making it the 5th largest jackpot in U.S. history. And it's got many players thinking, why not me?
Everybody's talking about it. It's totally crowded here. I was able to get here and get a ticket as fast as I could.
It really comes down to number combinations and how many number combinations have been played. And we'll know just before Tuesday how many of those percentage of numbers are covered.
Be sure to watch ABC 7 tonight at 11 o'clock to see the numbers drawn live and get the latest on if any winners were announced. If you can stay up that late, I don't know if I can. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you why President Trump is now calling the caravan of migrants making its way toward the U.S.-Mexico border a national emergency. And we'll tell you why new research suggests eating more organic foods could lower your risk of cancer. But first, let's take a look outside at our sky cam this morning, a beautiful view over the city of Sarasota. Let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who has your drive time forecast.
Yeah, despite a little bit of high cloudiness around, we still see a pretty crisp image on tower cam, which is an indication of the dry air in place at the surface. None of the inclement weather boxes checked for your drive time forecast. Looks great. To work, we're looking at temperatures that'll be less humid, partly sunny, and temperatures in the upper 60s on the way home. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy and dry. None of the rains will be produced by the clouds that we see today. As we head into the weekend, though, that could become a problem. As far as the airport hubs, none of them are reporting any delays, according to the FAA. Complete forecast in a minute.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles, 12
12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gattle's got it.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at a 66-degree air temperature, we have a dew point value of 62. It's a nice start to the day. It feels kind of cool, crisp out there. We do have a little bit of cloud cover around, though. East-northeast wind coming in at about 3. The cloud cover high, thin clouds, not producing any rainfall, and it won't stop us from reaching a temperature of about 85 for a daytime high under a mix of sun and clouds. No rain in the forecast for today. Low relative humidities should feel pretty comfortable out there. As we head into the afternoon, you can see the clouds and the showers that are being produced out in Gulf waters. That's been a persistent feature, a little kind of kink in the pressure pattern, creating a trough of low pressure out here. It's not really going anywhere. We also have a lot of rainfall across the northern Gulf waters and Gulf Coast, that due to an area of developing low pressure and a deep flow of air coming up, rising up over a general frontal boundary that's been kind of stalled out. That stalled frontal boundary, the low pressure area developing off the coast of Texas, and moisture lifting northward from Willa as it moves onshore a little bit later today and into tomorrow perhaps, will produce a good chance of shower and thunderstorm activity for the northern Gulf Coast and perhaps heavy rainfall at times, with perhaps a potential of as much as maybe 4 or 5 inches in some parts of the northern Gulf Coast. Willa is now a Category 4 storm, barely forecast to lift north and make it onshore as a major hurricane, Category 3-4, and then gradually drift toward the center part of the country where the upper level winds will just be torn apart by the mountainous regions. But the moisture still continues to drift toward the Gulf Coast, so we have another nice weather day today, and probably tomorrow as well, We have humidity that will continue to rise starting tomorrow, but spike on Thursday, and then a good chance of rainfall as we head into the weekend. Right now, most computer models suggest that the heaviest of the rain will fall in northern Gulf waters along the northern Gulf Coast and then lift off to the north and to the east, kind of bypassing us. But this frontal boundary is what we'll have to watch. Right now, the threat of severe weather is pretty low for the state of Florida, but it is really kind of early to know. The heaviest of the rain, as I mentioned, falling in North Florida and back toward the west, where we could see as much as 4 or 5 inch rainfalls. For us, we're looking at a nicer boating day today. East wind at about 10 knots, light chop 2-foot seas. And then over the course of the week ahead, we'll look at 85 for today. Tomorrow, about the same. Similar conditions tomorrow, I think maybe a little more humid, but then probably on Thursday our winds shift south and we start to spike up the moisture for a Friday rain shower event. Could see some thunderstorms, monitoring to see whether any of them might be strong, too early to tell yet. We're looking at breezy conditions and clearing on Saturday and Sunday with highs near 80. Looks like a beautiful weekend. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. We're seeing some delays in Manatee County throughout US 301 north and southbound from State Road 70 up through Palmetto. Your usual delays there as we head south into Sarasota County. Some minor delays on US 301 near the US 41 intersection, but other than that, nothing major to report. And as we head further south into southern Sarasota County, nothing major to report at 6:45 on your Tuesday morning. In Health Smart, the CDC says 155 cases of a polio-like illness, mostly affecting kids, are now under investigation nationwide. The agency announced Monday that 28 new cases of AFM emerged last week. AFM affects the area of the spinal cord called gray matter and can cause paralysis. It's unknown why some patients fully recover. The average age of patients with the condition is just 4 years old. Almost all cases of AFM occur in children under 18. And eating organic food could protect you from cancer. Scientists in France looked at the diets of nearly 68,000 people and found that those who primarily ate organic foods were more likely to ward off certain kinds of cancer than people who rarely or never ate organic foods. Those who ate the most organic food were 25% less likely to develop cancer. Researchers said there could be other factors, but the correlation is substantial enough to warrant further studies. Right now, President Trump is calling a group of Central American migrants headed toward the U.S. a national emergency. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington as that group makes its way through Mexico.
President Trump returned to the White House overnight after a raucous rally for GOP Senator Ted Cruz in Texas, where he made a proud declaration.
I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
The president promising to send troops to the U.S. border to stop a group of Central American migrants. He's also increasing the frequency of his false statements about the caravan.
I think the Democrats had something to do with it, and now they're saying, I think we made a big mistake.
No proof that's true, or an earlier claim that criminals and unknown Middle Easterners are mixed in with the caravan.
In that caravan, you have some very bad people. You have some very bad people. And we can't let that happen to our country.
The president urging the media to take a closer look inside the group of migrants. We've seen thousands of desperate families, asylum seekers, many from Honduras, who say they're escaping extreme poverty and violence. The caravan is on a treacherous trek starting in Honduras a week ago. Their shortest route, 1,500 miles to Brownsville, Texas. Mexican federal police keeping watch as so many hitch rides, hiked in the suffocating heat, and waited for medical help. ABC's Matt Gutman with an official in Chiapas.
What kind of things have you seen here tonight?
Hunger, despair, very, very sick people.
Mexico's president is warning migrants they won't be able to stay in his country or reach the U.S. if they don't follow the legal process. But many of those migrants believe that's a ploy to deport them back home. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
New this morning, an explosive device was found near the New York home of billionaire George Soros. Soros was not home at the time, but police say an employee found a suspicious package in his mailbox that looked like a bomb. The device did not explode and was later detonated by a local bomb squad. The case has now been turned over to the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. Soros frequently donates to Democratic candidates and progressive causes. And happening today, a big debate right here on ABC7. The race for Congress in the 16th Congressional District is one of the highest profile races in the country right now. Both candidates, Republican Vern Buchanan and Democrat David Shapiro, will face off in their first and only debate. If you'd like to submit a question, you can send your ideas to our very own Alan Cohn on Twitter, and be sure to catch the debate live tonight on ABC7. We'll be right back with your top 7 before 7, but first we're taking a look at the nation's capital this morning. It's a chilly 46 degrees there as we head into your Tuesday.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically. And I don't know what we would have done without that.
So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
As smart as our pets might be, they can't advocate for themselves. That's why it's important you make your pet part of your family's disaster preparedness plan. Talk to your veterinarian and visit banfieldfoundation.org/disaster. Don't save it for a rainy day.
Welcome back. It's time for your top 7 before 7 o'clock. First up is the man of the hour, John Scalzi.
Well, we have a couple of important things on the boards for you today. First, low humidity continues. That's lovely. More clouds around today with a temperature that's still mild at 85. But we'll watch for the rain on Friday. Some of it could be stronger. Too early to tell yet, but the more likely scenario is just some rain, intermittent throughout Friday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Number 2 was your first alert traffic. We are in Manatee County, your usual traffic as you're heading southbound over the bridges from Palmetto to the city of Bradenton. Other than that, your normal delays at 6:53 on your Tuesday morning. Number 3, today's the day that you could become a billionaire. The latest drawing in the Mega Millions lottery jackpot now at a record $1.6 billion. That's happening tonight, so make sure to get your tickets before it's too late. Number 4, Florida emergency management officials say the state's death toll from Hurricane Michael is now up to at least 29 people. The latest update in Florida adds 4 deaths from the hardest hit coastal Bay County, bringing the total there to 19. Number 5, a deadly stabbing in Manatee County is said to have been fueled by drugs. According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, 22-year-old Joseph Mueller had a bad reaction to LSD and started hallucinating, stabbing Arthur Sadler and killing him. Number 6, Manatee County Schools is preparing to give their latest high school a new name. The school is currently under construction on Fort Hamer Road. A town hall will be held at Buffalo Creek Middle School tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. Finally, number 7, what's trending? A replica of the Titanic is getting ready to embark on its maiden voyage. Construction of the Titanic II was put on hold a few years ago, but now reports say the $500 million project is back on track. The ship will feature the same cabin layout as the original Millionaire's Special and feature modern navigation tools with plenty of lifeboats. Of course, the Titanic II will set sail from Dubai in 2022 before following the unsinkable ship's original route from Southampton, England to New York. Would you take a ride on that, John?
I don't know. I'm torn. I mean, wouldn't you always be reminded of a tragedy?
Yeah, I'm kind of like superstitious in that way.
I don't know.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next. Have a wonderful day.